Hi ladies and gentlemen, this is a video on how to make a pulse motor from a 12 volt DC battery, a coil, and some neodymium magnets, and my own special reed switch, which is basically, it is a coat hanger. Now, I could make this a little bit better looking, but I just wanted to make it very simple so everyone can get an idea on what it is and how you can set this up yourself at home with a few parts just going from your local hardware store. You should be able to get all this stuff. Okay, so alright, well, let's go ahead and break this down one piece at a time. Okay, this is the CD-ROM. Okay, it's a motor out of a CD-ROM case, and I took it apart and I took it out and I mounted the motor to this board. Now here are the neodymium magnets, and they have a north pole and a south pole. Okay, so basically on this one we've got all these facing south. Okay, and the way that we have this pulse motor set up is to be set up pulsing north. So when there's a big burst, that means that this is going to act as two magnets and they're going to push away from each other. It's going to cause this to spin. Okay, now what I also have is because I have three wound coil, I have two extra leads coming out here. Now these leads pick up back EMF, which I now use to charge the batteries as well as run different things from LED lights to my fan. So I'm going to show you all how to go ahead and do this, and basically we're going to run through everything and then I'm going to fire it up. Okay, this is how we're going to do this. Basically you have your 12 volt battery, okay, and this time I'm running my secondary battery, so we're just going to go ahead and I have a little switch here, okay, which easier than putting the battery clips on and off the battery. Okay, so it's very that simple, that you just run your positive negative to the two positive and negative, and then this is going to be your positive hot. So when it's on, this is your positive hot, this is your positive cold, if that makes sense. These two leads plug in, they're straight from the battery. Okay, so this is your negative, this is your positive. When this turns on, this now activates, which turns the switch on. Okay, so what we got here is we're going to follow this, which is the positive, okay, which is this yellow wire here, which is going here to my coil. And it's going to one of my coil leads. You can pick any which one, any three should work. Okay, and from that point it's going to come out of the coil, and it is going to, where's my finger here, it's going to come around and it's going to connect to this red connector, and that's where it's called a reed switch, but I was blowing so many out and I didn't know how to build boards and didn't want to spend all the $30, $40, $50, so I saw one video that a guy did make a paper clip, and it seems to work really amazing. And you'll never want to go back and spend all this money on all this other parts when you don't need it, and basically you can do it all with a paper clip. Alright, so once that contact makes contact, that fires, and then that goes back. This wire comes back, goes back, it's connected, goes back up to the negative of the on-off switch, and then back to the battery. So it's a complete, let me back this up here, it's a complete circle going from here in, back around into my, what I'm going to call my homemade reed switch, and then back around into the battery. Okay, now what I have here second is I have the two other leads, which are your back EMF. Now one of my back EMF positives are going to, if you want to follow this, it's going to my little LED switch, which is right here. Okay, and it's a 12 volt DC LED light. This here is a 12 volt fan out of a computer. Okay, And once this power is up to speed, you'll notice the light will start turning on and the fan will slowly start kicking on and keep going faster and faster. And it'll give you a visual idea on how much output this little puppy puts out just for a little homemade device. Okay, so here we go. We're going to go ahead and turn this on. And we're going to give this a little flip. Take a look at that little reed switch. And all the reed switches is a paper clip with a stainless screw, aluminum nut, which that is set for the rhythm of how far that goes back and forth and how far I want it to how fast I want it to trigger. With the set screws in the back, you can see I got 2 of them, and that just gives me an adjust at how far I want that to come out or in, and just depends on how you have it set up, and wherever it works, you know, stick it down and you're pretty good to go. It's not that complicated really, almost anybody can do it. Okay, so now basically you want to go ahead and check out the LED light so you can see everybody that is on. And it is going so quick that, hold on a second, I'm going to slow this down just so you can see it pulsing. I'm slowing this down just so you can see it pulsing here. There it's pulsing. And now it's back on to speed. And that's going so fast that it just solid lit. Now here's my little fan. Now I don't want to get it any closer to here because it gets a distortion, so I'm just going to give this a little bit of a turn, and that will start firing up as well. So I just wanted to give you guys a good idea on basically what you can do just with a few little things from home, and if you've got a few little extra computer parts, you'd be amazed. You can put a little thing together for your kids or whatever. Now, if you have any comments, you can please leave them below and I'll be happy to get back to them. Again, this is my video number 1 on my pulse motor.